time I physically recorded a video, it was almost 2 months ago. Once I get hit with a setback, I'll wait a little bit, then I'll finally jump on the issue. Once I jump on the issue and the situation still remains the same, then it's kind of like over with. Once that happened, it was kind of like a domino effect. It stopped me from doing more videos because I'm like, okay, well, I want this type of lighting. It's just little thing after little thing, and the little things start to add up. So of course, while the YouTube side of things are starting to build up, my spiritual walk is like dwindling down. The more I make videos, the more I'm in my element. I beg people to take accountability. This right here is how I let the enemy trick me. I love doing YouTube videos. I love doing graphic design. I love speaking to people. What the enemy does is he tricks me into thinking that I don't really like doing YouTube. Me speaking about the issue now is actually freeing me up even more because I love doing this. Lord, I don't know what the issue is. I don't know what the problem is. I'm reading the Bible, I'm praying, I'm talking to God, going to Bible study, and I'm going to church. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why I feel like this. Like, what is it that what am I missing? I wouldn't say it's like an ego thing, but kinda, because when you're used to being in the helper position, it's hard admitting that you need help. Hi YouTube, what's going on? How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Today, this video gonna be more so focused on my life instead of like a lesson or like a moment to teach. It's not gonna be usual programming, so I'm gonna just let you know now. If that's not something that interests you, you can go ahead, just click off, because like I said, this whole video gonna be basically just an update, right? What's been going on. Last time I physically recorded a video, it was almost 2 months ago. So we're gonna get into what I've been doing, what I've been up to, everything. The most recent video that I did was the do all Christians think alike? I recorded that video the same day that I recorded the other video when I was talking about the accident that I went through and everything, all the things, right? Because I just had so much motivation that night. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna really lock in, take advantage of the things that I have, because when you go through an experience like that, you start to value the things that you have. And after that, I had got a comment on one of my other videos asking to do a certain type of video as well. So I seen it. Trust me, I seen all the comments. I've heard all the comments. I'm gonna be just super 3000% transparent in this video. Matter of fact, let me tell y'all what happened right after the accident. A week later, like I said in that video, I was down. You could physically see it on my face. I was down, I was distraught, all the things. But in that moment, I was still praying. I was still praising God and rejoicing and worshiping, doing all the things. Everything that I told y'all to do in those moments, I was doing myself. So I didn't let it get to me. And by the grace of God, literally that same week, or a week, maybe exactly a week later, he blessed me with a new car. I got the car, and I'm like, well, now that I got this vehicle, I'm not going to stop praising and rejoicing, because that would be so wrong of me. I'm pleading God during this terrible season, and then once I get what I want, then I just stop. Like that's not good. So I kept going, and I was planning to make a video. I don't know if I had said this in my last video or not, but I think I did. My light had ended up going out, and once the light went out, I was like, okay, that slowed me down. I'm not gonna lie, the light going out slowed me down. So I started using my other I have miniature, you see the lights in the back? Oh Lord, y'all see the lights in the back, the red lights all around? I have them all around my room. So I started using that right there behind my camera, so I can get like at least some type of lighting, you know what I mean? And and I bought some new lights for this, my big light that y'all see behind the camera. I bought some new ones so I could stop procrastinating. I put the new ones in and they didn't work. Changed the battery in the remote. The remotes, I changed the battery in the remote, still didn't work. Right, me cutting on the light. See my finger? I was like, bro, once something like that happens, me specifically, I'm the person where if I get hit with a setback, I'll wait a little bit. This is not intentionally, this is just what I observed about myself. Once I get hit with a setback, I'll wait a little bit, then I'll finally jump on the issue. Once I jump on the issue and the situation still remains the same, once I jump on the issue and I can't fix it, then it's kind of like over with. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to put it. It's just something that I noticed about myself, and I do this a lot. So I'm not the type of person that's going to go look at it, refund it on Amazon, do this, do that, the third, like go through all the. I want whatever I do to work immediately, which is a flaw, right? Because that's not a good mindset to have. But whatever problem, if I have a problem and I have a solution and the solution doesn't work, then my mindset is, well, it is what it is.
Whoop they do.
Once that happened, it was kind of like a domino effect. It stopped me from doing more videos because I'm like, okay, well, I want this type of lighting, but my light isn't working, right? Or I want this type of lighting for this video, but I switched to the computer. My computer doesn't have I don't have an Apple Mac, what you call it? What's the Apple computer? I don't have an Apple computer. So the studio light, the portrait, the way everything looks now, it wasn't going to look like that if I went to the computer. It looked like ugly, right? It looked ugly. So I'm like, it's just little thing after little thing, and the little things start to add up. So of course, while the YouTube side of things are starting to build up, my spiritual walk is like dwindling down, because the more I make videos, the more I'm in my element. I'm big about accountability. I beg people to take accountability. This right here is how I let the enemy trick me. I love doing YouTube videos. I love doing graphic design. I love speaking to people. Even though I'm introverted, I love having conversations with people. What the enemy does is, in my situation, he started stacking all these little problems on top of each other. The light, me buying the placement doesn't work. Me switching to the computer doesn't look like how I want it to. Then every time I switch from a reaction to a speak video, it's a whole setup change. Little thing after little thing after little thing after little thing after little thing. He starts to stack all of this stuff up, which makes me lose that drive to keep doing videos. So what that does is it discourages me from like recording. Like, I don't feel like doing a video a day, or I don't feel like talking about this today, or that subject is interesting, let me talk about that subject today. Get home and I don't feel like doing it because I know that I have to unplug my computer and plug it up to the MacBook. You know what I mean? And then when I do that, I don't have my light. Stuff like that. And it might sound unrelatable. It might sound completely ridiculous, but it's real to me, because as you've seen, it hasn't been a video on this channel in 2 months. So as stupid as it may sound, this is a real life problem. You understand? He tricks me into thinking that I don't really like doing YouTube. Me speaking about the issue now is actually freeing me up even more, because I love doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I love doing this. And so I was just sitting, right, for 2 months, maybe a month. I was just sitting like, Lord, I don't know what the issue is. I don't know what the problem is. I'm reading the Bible. I'm praying. I'm talking to God. And I'm going to church. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why I feel like this. Like, what is it what am I missing? Going to Bible study. I didn't know what was missing. the way currently I feel about it now is that it's frustrating that we have an enemy that is super persistent, and the moment that you stop being persistent, he doesn't stop. His goal is for you to be eternally separated from God just because of pure hatred and jealousy. He hates God so much that he comes after us. So he starts doing little things, start knocking over the stuff, and it's like a domino effect. And the moment that we stop, being persistent, he still goes. He still goes. So that's exactly what happened to me. And then it started affecting me spiritually, which was more recent. That would be more recently when I started being like really spiritually affected. Cause what people don't understand is like I said, he tricked me into thinking that I don't really, I don't feel like doing videos. In reality, I do. And also, I see the comments. I see the people asking for videos, requesting videos. I see the people saying keep going. I see the people saying good job. Like, I see all the support. The Lord is showing me that he still is like that. You feel me? This is what I'm here to do. That's what he's showing me. This is what I'm here to do. But it's about you actually taking initiative, making a decision. You feel me? Like, everybody got a choice in life. So that's what it's about. My thing in this season also as well is humility, being humble. That's been a hard thing for me just because of the fact that I wouldn't say it's like an ego thing, but kinda, because when you're used to being in the helper position, it's hard admitting that you need help. When you used to being the person that leads people and guides people, when you need that for yourself, it's kind of hard to admit that, because I don't know what it is behind that. I don't know why. It just is. And it's not like I'm like a closed off person. I tell y'all very personal things on this channel. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of stuff. I air myself out on this channel. You feel me? I think the thing about it is that it's easier to talk about yourself and your old problems and past things when you know that it's not you anymore, right? Like, when you know that's in the past, you're not worried about it no more. It's easy to talk about it. But I think it kind of gets hard when it feels like you're still in that same position, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but it gets hard doing that if you're using past examples of yourself and you still feel like the past version of yourself. Not saying that I fell back into any of those same sins. I haven't, but it doesn't feel like I'm 100% spiritually. Maybe about like 30%, right? Which is nowhere near where you need to be if you're teaching. If a pastor is 30%, I'd rather him take that Sunday off, because you have to be right with the Lord before you come onto a platform and speak about God. You know what I mean? You can't come up here phony, faking it. You know what I'm saying? Because even though y'all may not see it, God sees everything. That's how I felt. So eventually, after I had dug that hole for myself, I felt like, man, even if I wanted to do a video, I couldn't come up on here and do a video because I don't feel 100. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like I'm in the position to do one. Last night, what I did, after talking to both my parents, I was like, all right, enough is enough. What's going to happen is I'm going to buy this light. I'm finna buy a brand new one. I don't care about the last one. I'm not finna send it back. I'm not finna do none of that. I'm not doing nothing that's gonna waste any more time. I went the most. I went ahead, bought the light. I went with the overnight option. I don't care. I'm paying the $5 extra. I don't care. Like, doing what it takes for me to get back on that path. No procrastination. The one thing that I notice is that I get real consistent, and like I said, the moment that I stop is the moment the enemy keeps going. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead, get this situated while I feel this encouragement, while I feel the spirit. I'm gonna go ahead, buy this light, and try to get on here and record a video. Let me tell y'all what's been going on in the meantime. aside from that, because that right there is recent. That's why I haven't been on YouTube. Okay, let me tell y'all what's going on in between all that. Let's speak on some things. By the grace of God, I sent my YouTube video to my grandma, or my YouTube channel to my grandma a while ago. It was a long time ago I did that, and she loved it so much she ended up sending it to her pastor, and her pastor loved it, and they ended up inviting me to their church to speak for a Sunday. So September 14th, I did a whole speech slash sermon, whatever you want to call it. I did a whole thing, and it was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely awesome. So good to do that. Doing stuff like that made me realize how much I really am in the right field, that I'm not doing something that I'm not supposed to do, that I actually love what I'm doing, because like I said, the enemy tries to trick you into thinking that you don't like what you're actually doing, especially when it's for the Lord. You know what I mean? Or I can't really speak on any other perspective, because everything that I do for the Lord, I love doing it. But the enemy, he tries to trick you into thinking that you don't like it. All right. Yeah, that was so fun. I spent the whole weekend at my grandma's house. I was getting ready. I was writing down. I wrote down my whole speech. I went into the text-to-speech app, made the whole talk about 20 minutes long. And it ended up being about 25 minutes long, so it was right on time. I had like a 25-minute window, and my personality when I was speaking just made it about 25 minutes. So that was so fun. It really boosted my spirit. It reminded me how much I really love to speak the gospel. Like, I think one of the most impactful moments ever in my life, I think easily in my life, was the first time, because this is the first time I ever did it. When I did that speech at the end, when I led the whole congregation, or however many people there, it wasn't that many people, but it wasn't like it was a little people. Like, it was a good amount. But when I led everybody through the whole sinner's prayer and everything like that, that was huge, because not only did it plant a seed, maybe like, if somebody wasn't really getting the message like that, and they wasn't really hearing, or they wasn't interested, and they said that sinner's prayer, even that planted a seed, you know what I mean, whether they know it or not. And it just showed me, like, words really do got power, and you have influence. Because I would have never thought, like, never imagined myself speaking in a church at the position of where a pastor supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I'm a pastor, absolutely not. But being the main focus spotlight, and then leading everybody through that was amazing. That was top 5 moments of my whole life ever. So that was excellent. The whole Charlie Kirk situation happened. I actually recorded a video on that. The night of, and I edited it. I did the thumbnail. I did everything. The video is ready to go, actually, and I never uploaded it. First, because of the enemy, like I said, but also once I had thought about it, that scripture that say whoever spouts out before they know the full truth is a fool. So something that I noticed about, and this is not saying that I'm influenced by other people, but I learned a good lesson. Something that I noticed is that all the influencers or creators, people that's like in the spiritual field that I look up to, all the people that spoke on it, they took time. They didn't immediately make a video. They didn't make a video the day of, the night of, whatever. They took time, thought about what they was finna say, spoke on it, and delivered the exact message that I felt in my heart. But I couldn't, it didn't come out like that because I didn't take time to think about what I was saying. You know what I mean? So the message that I wanted to say, they said it perfectly, but it was because they took time and thought about it. Basically, I'm not going to dive deep into that today, but I'm gonna tell you the thoughts that I had, which was when you see somebody like that, a situation like that happen, is to not be discouraged, you know, because in the Bible, 11, or it wasn't in the Bible, but 11 disciples got brutally tortured and executed for the name of Jesus many decades after Jesus was already sent up. You know what I mean? So if anything, it's a cause to be more bold in what you're saying and what you're speaking. I was just saying I'm not going to let the devil muzzle me with how I truly feel and my true beliefs about the Bible. I'm not going to do that because I don't like to ever make it the devil feel like he has a one up on me or like he's punking me or anything like that. I find that highly disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And I take it personal. So that's what I was saying. And I was saying either you're an outstanding civilian or you're a criminal. Everybody is made in the image of God. Nobody deserves to be killed in front of their family. Good Samaritan or absolute criminal. It doesn't matter. They were made in the image of God. They were not born criminals. We have to get back to our morals, and we gotta find compassion in our hearts, because the stuff that I seen, the way I was getting harassed, it was crazy. The way, luckily, you know, the Lord already prepared me for that. He been told me that before. He said, you know, when you start this channel, this will happen to you. You will be hated for what you say, and you will be disliked, and people will disagree with you, and that's perfectly fine, because quite frankly, if everybody agrees with you, you're not doing something right. Especially speaking on the gospel is highly offensive. So yeah, it didn't bother me like that, but to see how low people will go was that was an eye opener. I was like, wow, you know, people will go low. Yeah, it's just that's an update where I've been, what's going on in my life, and actually doing this video now is just it freed me a little bit more. Just the fact that, you know, God really put he really made recording and, like I said, speaking an actual passion of mine. So it's like me doing it is actually, yeah, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like I'm letting a burden up off of me. Yeah, I thank everybody for watching this. If you stayed all the way to the end, I thank you. I love you. More videos soon, prayerfully. Please pray for me. I can tell if y'all praying or not, because if y'all see some video rolling out this month, then I can see, okay, these people praying for me. Let me quit. But I love y'all. If you made it to the end of the video, I rock with you heavy. You know that. And I will see y'all later. Love y'all. Have a good afternoon. Bye bye.